sorted there. That's all sorted there. That's on there. Look up there. Perfect. And we might actually, if that's on 100%, unplug that and bring that on around here. Perfect. On charge there. Up you come. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We're making good ground here, team. Making a lovely, lovely ground. Dearie me. So many lovely things we can put on this canvas today. I'm excited. And g'day guys. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've been a lovely day. It's lovely to be back. Here we go. Leaping here. Bada bing bang boom. And to kick off with today, I think we're going to start with a portrait. You might have noticed this new little unit. I usually have this sitting in the over the other side of the room, but I thought I'd bring it over here and see how it would go for actually drying off the paint a little bit, because it blows air up. So it might work, it might not. Let's find out together. I'm excited. I'm excited. Now let's have a little look-see here. Here we go. I'm wondering today, Cromwell, welcome on in, Donna. I'm wondering if today we actually do something a little bit different. I want to do a face, so I want to do a character, but I've had a lot of requests, and I'm tossing up the idea right now. Maybe we do Jesus. Maybe. How do we feel? Draw 3D and faces. That's pretty cool. I think we will. Hey, news anchor. Who's that? Hey, Darlie. Good to have you in here. I think this would be a good picture. This one right here. We'll see how this goes. Grab this. We'll just make sure it matches the sizes of the surface we're working on. There we go. Sure. A little bit more. There we go. Perfect. And we're sized up. We are sized up. All right. This is going to be fun. All right. Lots of warm colors. Kyle, we are going to do a picture of Jesus today. Wild. So we're doing a portrait. We're doing it from the torso down, so we're going to capture a lot of them in there. And he's carrying a lamb. I want some hands in there too. I want a lamb and a gallery to hang all the paintings you've done before. Well, Lemark, there's not a whole lot of them that are still in my possession. There is about two right now, 3 in my house, but a lot of them actually get sold to private collectors. So over this next month and leading up to Christmas, there's a few extra commissions, but I want to spend my time actually developing the collection of work, so there would be a body to do some things with, which I think is pretty fun. Okay, I've got a little collection of things down here on the floor, but I'm going to start migrating this onto a table over here, because it's a little bit exhausting, always bending down to pick this stuff up. Aloha, Steve. Yes, I saw you pop in. So I was doing a little quick Monday session. If anyone was here for it on Instagram, that's fantastic. It's a bit of fun. It was a bit different. It was like, just a little Monday Kickstarter. Let you guys know some hard questions I have to answer and things like that. You have not been, Tanya, but it's lovely to have you back. I'm just going to move this table here a little bit. Bear with me. Is this going to move for me? Yes, it is. It's just got a long, tough coil there. There we go. Just moving this over here so I can reach bits and pieces. The thing I'm going to pick up is the brushes. Getting everything out. Paint, that's important. Paint, paint, paint. You're here for a fun one. We're going to be doing a very recognisable character. So that's going to be quite fun. And I've got some other things to show you as well. These, got these from an op shop today. So, first plate, this one's Maxwell and Williams, classic from the farmers. This one here is, got 4 little dimensions there. And I can use this for 4 little pieces of paint. And you can see the sticker there, that's how much I paid for it. $3. $3. And while it's in there as well, one thing some of you might notice, this shirt. The shirt was also $3. So I spent $6 between this plate and this t-shirt. And then, here's another one I've got. Voila, a slightly bigger one. Carry 4 colours in this one as well, but much more bigger portions of them. And this one cost me $4. I did bring more plates today. Everyone was getting so angry at me for not having plates, which I can't understand, but we've now fixed that. We've now got too many plates. Because after this one, I'm going to show you something. I've got, once I pick it up, another one. Voila. And I like this one the most because it has this edge around it, so I can actually hold the plate and paint while still having the paint contained in these little containers. This is so much better than a palette. This is the best it can be. Alright. Too many is better than one? I don't know. Depends what you're talking about. I look different. I'm on a different device, so it'll be filming differently. Good different or bad different? These are the questions. Hopefully it's good different. Okay. Get this off here. These are very sticky stickers. The stickiest of stickers. Good. Oh, fantastic, Natalie. I was going to act cool, but man, I was nervous. There we go. Perfect. Stickers are now off. It was challenging. Now I've got my snacks. A big container of walnuts. How exciting is that? Let's put that down there. Got all our plates sorted. And we're going to hang up our tapes. If I can find another hook for that one. There we go. Tapes hanging up. Sorted there. I agree, Mike. But they did lose. They did lose. So we have that now. Now, what colour do we kick off with? Probably big brush, big strokes. It won't be black though. It is. It is. Whenever someone says that, it reminds me of Austin Powers, when he's like, it's a bit nutty. To agree with him on. It's quite funny. A little bit of water, we will be refilling that. Guar gum, if you were around for the live on Instagram, you'll know why we have this. As vital as it is. And now all my things are off the ground. How exciting is that? I've done some refiddling in the studio here, and probably from your camera angle, as far back as you are, you can tell that I've got the backdrop here, because you'll be able to see the 4 sides of it, because the large one wouldn't actually fit in here, so I got the size down, which it does okay. It'll do the trick. I didn't know before, but walnuts are the best for you. Tons. So they say. I prefer pistachio nuts. They're my go-to. Now. Everyone's like, does he just talk the whole time about how the studio looks and never actually paint? Yes, this is always blank. Let's get We're going to start with a little plate first. Starting with plates, and then we'll move on from there. First colour off the ranks, primary red. Is that going to re-hone for us? There we go, primary red. Wow. This colour here is going to be our foundation. There it is. Voila, that's all we need of that paste. I'm not sure you did, Mike, because I don't have dating apps. But if it's someone trying to be me, that's also cool. That's quite funny. Honestly, guys, I do enough doom scrolling on Instagram and Twitter already. I do not have time for anything else. Watched that new Rick and Morty episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If there's any Rick and Morty watchers here, oh my god, the last 2 episodes, 2 of my favourites. Get it, Mike. Good for you, mate. I've never been on a live with a blank slate. I'm excited for this. Jimmy Jackson, hang around. Let's see how it goes. I'm doing good, Noel. Right, so here's our mix. I'd like to get more of an angle on it there for you, but I think you can bring it in here. This is that yolk, and this has been mixed in already with a teeny bit of guar gum and a teeny bit of water, and then this is our pigment paste. So get ready, watch this. See how it immediately spreads that paste out? And that yellow will get completely overtaken. It didn't make orange because the yolk's pigment gives way completely for the intensity of that other pigment we've got going on. And now we have our delightful red paint ready to use. Completely non-toxic, completely edible, completely healthy. And so that's fantastic. Now the reason I like this kind of paint is because it doesn't use chemical processes to dry. Now you'd be like, well, why does that matter? It matters because when it comes to the chemical processes of paint drying, they off-gas and they can ruin your frontal lobe. But if you use egg as your binder or your mixing agent, what will happen with it is the egg evaporates to dry, the water disappears, but to seal the paint onto the layer, it uses a process called coagulation. Coagulation? Coagulation. Where the proteins and the fats, because it's natural, bind. And inside that binding motion, in between those knuckles of the things all binding together and flattening and hardening on the sheet, the pigment stays. So that's cool. Yes, so sorry, the gum's here as well. There's a little bit of gum in my paint pigment because I use gouache pigment, which already includes a bit of gum, but I add a little bit of this into the egg mix. And what this does is it adds an additional thing, so when the drying process occurs, without going into the really technical chemical side of it, it stops it from having those moments where it dries and splits. This will just alleviate that. Not entirely, but enough that we'll go a little bit thicker, will be okay. I did show it like a zip, Tanya, but actually it's more like a chemical binding gelatin-ish style effect. Why he talk like that? Is that because I'm foreign and the accent? Probably. Anyway, let's get the image up. This is our machine. We're painting this today. Bit of a unique one, a bit different. We've got a lovely picture of our man Jesus with a lamb. That's the plan. And let's put this one down into here. Fantastic. Alright. Alright. Let's do it. Big canvas here. I'm going to use the start to mark out a few areas. You can see here how we're going to go at it really delicately. We're going to have fun, but we're going to be delicate. Okay, now a little bit through here. See how I'm going on really lightly to start with. Just getting that egg spread out. Hello, how we doing? I reckon we can Here we are. Gabriel, you've been weird. But if you want to keep hanging out and enjoying the art, we'd love to have you. Here we go. Alright, let's get a little bit more down here. And a bit down. There we go, onto the shoulder. Fantastic. Beautiful. Beautiful mix. We can tell here that immediately our egg temperature ratios are absolutely spot on, which is really cool to see. Really cool to see. There is a wild amount of variation sometimes between the eggs, and maybe it's actually due to the fact that the egg temperature mix that we've got is made with size 8 eggs, which are made by older chickens. It's possible. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then we're going to come in here. Where else are we going to go? Lovely little strokes. I'm going to bring this hand in here a little bit. You can see how we're starting with no guidelines. So we're accepting an element of mistakes immediately in this work. We're accepting them. We're borderline encouraging them doing the style like this. Moana, I would absolutely love to. You know where to find me. The link in the bio, Moana, I've got you covered. And if you are after something, get in fast, please, so I can put you in the calendar for Christmas time. If you don't get in soon, we might run out of, I mean, it's totally fine. I'm always around, but we might run out of time to actually get it done before Christmas. And it'd be pretty cool if we could get it done before Christmas for you. If that's what you're after, if it's not a Christmas gift, totally fine. Take all the time in the world. Cheers, Mark. Cheers, Mark. So you can see here, we're capturing a few dark spots, but at the same time, we're capturing a few elements. Because this is iconography, it's a religious painting, we want to make sure, since it's a religious painting, we capture a few shapes. So see here, we focus on the hands first. You can see the first hand, cradling, second hand, underneath. Cheers, Steve. And then, where are we going to go next? There we go. And let's sneak some down through here. Oh, yes. And then a little bit more down through here. Lovely. This amazing cloak on. The bunny, let's get him. Bunny. I almost said the rabbit. The rabbit, the lamb. The lamb, the symbolic lamb. The cradling of the lamb. Let's get that sorted. Lovely, Wendy. You're scared. Run and hide. Jeepers. I think we'll just keep painting, but I like your suggestions. What you're doing is you're coming in with a lot of energy, which is a positive thing. But we're not going to do it, but I like the energy. Here we go. Let's get a little bit of this through here. Get a little bit down through. Yeah, there we go. A little bit down through there. Oh, that was a good stroke. That's a stroke for the books. See that? Big, clean, large strokes. That's the goal. That's the goal. You want to make more of those. Bold strokes. There we go. That's how you make a painting. Beautiful. And then some mountains. See this one here? I love how the mountains in this picture have this unnatural feel to them. See that? No mountain looks like that. But it kind of just brings that scenery in the most beautiful kind of way. There's another one here. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. That's what we're after. Just like that. And just like that. Be great if we could see the image, the reference image at the same time. Well, you know what? Maybe you can. Maybe you can. Shall we try something a little bit frisky here? You have to bear with me while I try and move these things around. Hey John, how we doing? You just caught me while I'm in the middle of doing some moving. Doing some moving. Here we go. Re-expand, and then we're going to bring this in through here, pushing that out of the way. Bring that into here, and then I'm going to unscrew this. Bring this over to this. Is that going to work for me? It might do. And you've come at just the right time, John, because we're going to be here for a long, long time. So, bring this into here, bring this down here, bring this over here. There we go. Beautiful. And we're doing an interesting one today, John. It's not standard. We're doing an image. Enjoy summer. I'm freezing America. Yeah, no, you're not at the end this time. You're away. Why board? Board because board is better for egg tempera. This is not regular board. This is masonite, and also known as oil-tempered hardboard. The reason why you use board, and specifically oil-tempered hardboard, is because it's mainly made up of wood. It's got no grain, so it won't bow and become a convex or a concave frame over time. It'll last, and ooh, why is that frame tilting up gently? Hold on, let me bring you back down, guys. Don't know why it's gently tilting up like that. Why does the camera want to do weird things all the time? Bear with me for a second. Let me, oh, don't fall off. Hold your horses, hold your horses. Let me tighten this. There we go. Hold on, guys, don't get motion sickness. There we go. Okay, I think we're sorted. I think we are sorted. Perfect. We're sorted. Okay, because board's very, very superior like that, and in that sense, with egg tempera has a proclivity, a possibility. It tries to, because it's made of a different mechanism, it doesn't dry into a flexible film, it dries into a rigid film, which can therefore crack. If you do it on a flexible surface, that flexible surface can flex, it's in the name, and it can crack the final layer. And so typically a lot of artists who would work with these more brittle, I call them brittle mediums, would find that they would work on stone or wood and not canvas. Now you're welcome to work on canvas, but you have to take extra precautions and extra steps. Why do that to yourself? The best thing to do is to work with these beautiful boards that protect the artwork into perpetuity. As far as we know, as long as you put rubbing alcohol on the board first to take away the thin layer of linseed oil, about 1% usually, wipe that away, make sure it's completely clean from the rubbing alcohol, then put gesso onto it, or you can put a sizer in there as well. Rabbits can glue sometimes, but I just put a gesso in there, and then paint straight onto it. Your work will last with full pigment into perpetuity. Yeah, I think, don't question me on it, it's like slab, slate. I've never looked into it, John, because I just know it's going to be a disaster for shipping, so I do very, very little time looking at it. But a lot of the old works, especially the Egyptians obviously, doing sarcophaguses and things like that, were using egg tempera onto stone. And I think some religious works are on slate or marble or stone panels, but like again, I've done next to zero research. All my understanding of supports comes from two places. I do a little bit I've dabbled enough to have experience in canvas, so linen and cotton and all that sort of jazz and how to blah, 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 but mainly wood. I like wood. So wood is where all my experience comes from, and out of all the woods you could possibly use, a good sheet of masonite is about as good as it gets. As good as it gets, that's simple. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Leilani, am I a Christian? Well, Leilani, here's what I reckon. Since you've asked me direct, I reckon everyone, I reckon every religion is a pathway to God. And I reckon everyone has a right to choose, and everyone has their own culture, own beliefs, and I think it's not a matter of demanding everyone to be different or fighting for that as such. It's more of a matter of celebrating who everyone is. And in this case here, technically, if you want to get technical and go into birth certificates, I was born an Anglican Christian, but in terms of my own religion, like I say, I believe any religion is a pathway to God, if you want to take that journey. Do you have a Movember link? I do not. I wasn't expecting the moustache to grow in this much, but there was a plan to do artwork, but sorry, auction of a piece of artwork, but it didn't quite come together. I'm still working on the auction link, so give me a bit more time, and if I figure it out, we may be able to thread the needle, but right now, I'm struggling a wee bit to pull the final lever there, so bear with me. But if we run a little bit late and end up having to run it in December and still donating the money to the same charities and causes, it's totally fine, guys. Yeah, we missed the boat for the social media trend, but we can still donate cash. Like, it's not like you can only donate money in November. If we sell the artwork, we can get it sorted then too. But honestly, I'm very, very surprised that I was able to grow a mustache, team. This is not my usual go. Oh, there we go. And let's sneak a little bit in here. And come up here. Beautiful. And then we'll get this neck. There we go. We get a little bit of this collar here. Beautiful. Lovely. That's what I'm talking about. That is looking absolutely fantastic. Let's get a bit more through there. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, team. That looks like that will conclude our initial coat of our reds. Now, we didn't go full black this time. I want to say that we typically change these things around one at a time. Sometimes we start with black, sometimes we start with blue, like Maui Strong, Steve. Sometimes we start with red, sometimes we start with white. There's not a rule where to start. If you are following a system of craft, you can go through step through step through step, but bear in mind that that's craft. Art doesn't need to have that same structure to it, and sometimes that structure can be limiting. So this time, we're creating a warm image. We're starting with a very, very warm colour. That's our reds. And we'll progress into our yellows, into some darker shades later on to pop detail where we want it, but this allows more freedom to go where we want to go. Black would immediately define, control, and I'm not sure we want that in the early stages of this picture. Chuck, that's a very constructive comment, but it's for charity. And honestly, that's everything I want to be doing here. So give it another 10 days, Chuck, and we can look at getting rid of the mustache. But until then, just let it ride, baby. And if I wasn't getting rid of the mustache, Chuck, I would give constructive feedback on the mustache and then probably do it in a compliment sandwich, Chuck. So I'd probably open up with a, hey, I like the way your art's going, or I like that tangent you're currently taking with your craft. And then say, the mustache may be hindering that. Maybe get rid of it. And then end off by saying, I can't wait to see what you do in the future with your art. And that compliment sandwich would not only make me more receptive to what you had to say, it would also get your point across, and most importantly, make it the most likely case that I would follow what you had to say. Compliment sandwiches, Chuck, they're a real winner. Coming on down here. And sorry, user, yes, indeed. P-Town, same story. Compliment sandwiches. Now, Chuck, you did a great job of listing there. Proud of you. Okay, so in terms of the artwork, yes, so a lot of it's streamed live here. We're usually doing commissions here. In this case here, I'm working on a few originals just to have for me inside my house, and I want them all to be wildly different. So this one here is a portrait. We hadn't planned it. I came into the studio today and thought, you know what? Let's go for golf. Sometimes it can be fun with that really, really raw approach, and be prepared. In some ways, and some artists do this, every time you put a stroke on, prepare yourself as if it's your last. That can be quite mentally draining, but if you do that stroke after stroke, at any point when you stand back and look at it, you can say, it's perfect, it's done. All these brush strokes have been waiting to be the one that would be the last one standing. And now we've reached that point. Oh, this is a wonderful colour, guys. This is an absolutely wonderful colour. I love it. I love it. It's popping orange. We're going to use a lot more of this than I expected. I wasn't expecting to like this colour as much as I do, and now I'm in love with it. We're going to really send this one to the stars. There we go, beautiful. All through here, nice. Coming up here, perfect, and up through here. That's what I'm after. All the way up there. Okay. See that? That's what I'm talking about. Look at that orange. That's absolutely perfect. He only paints the Danish. Are you sure? The Danish, like the people? Danish people? I didn't realise I'd only focused on the Danish. That's true, I'm so sorry, I missed that in the background. Here we go. Why red? Let me ask you another question. Why not? I think we can get so caught up on thinking that it has to be a blue start, a black start, a green start, a dark start. Just make a start. You go, oh, I see. That's pretty funny. I'm following. And guys, we've barely made a crack on this painting yet, and we're already on 7,000 likes. You pack of absolute champions. Bear with me, we'll see if we can take this the whole way. The idea is, with this filter, you may have noticed it, this one down here, it's purifying the air coming up. So it's sucking it in from the ground and firing cold air up at the painting, making it dry extra fast. So the only thing that slows down this process of this painting is whether I get mentally drained making it. That's the only thing. Apart from that, we can just keep going into perpetuity. A little bit of that. There we go. I'm going to put that down over there. A little bit more. God, that's a good colour. That is a good colour. Powerful colour. Powerful. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Smooth a bit through there. There we go. Just allow it to come over the top there. Just like that. See that? Big brush strokes. Big expressive strokes. You're all good, Tanya. Okay. Let's get this down through here. Perfect. And then we'll sneak a little bit down through here. There we go. And on these mountains, go on then. Let's get a little bit. Just on the tippity tops, so you can see that the actual light from above gets onto the mountains. Will you be using acrylic oil later? Not indoors. I used to use acrylic indoors. I used to use oils indoors. But now, those paints are just for outside. I do use them, but just for outside. Gotta protect yourself. Your frontal lobe, your ability to think, is more important than any singular painting. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. A bit more through here. There we go. And can you make out the reference image, guys? I think we can. I think it's big enough. There we go. This is just the colour I was after. So good. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Come on down in here. A little bit into this cloak. There we go. Come the whole way down in here. Beautiful. Where else will it go? Oh, give it to me. Right in here. Okay. All the way through here. Nice. Like that. Let's get that coverage. That's what I'm after. Now you might be like, he's actually painting hands in cloaks way more than usual. And you'd be correct. We're doing way more of that because the reason why is this is a religious connotation work. It's Jesus, it's the Lamb, it's got a landscape clearly in the background. It's full of iconography. If it's going to be full of iconography, how we address that is getting more specific with the actual shapes. The hands, the lamb, the face. Boom, boom, boom. And so we combine that wild impressionist sort of style, we combine that with symbols. Symbols, in this case, robes, hands, sheep, and face. If you were around back when we were doing 20-minute or an hour-long paintings, where we were painting, in fact, John, you were around for this. You actually chose a song, Enya, Return of Innocence, and we painted the character with the cloak and the sheep and the walking down the trail. In that case there, that was a really similar work to what we want to do here with the cloak. So you might start to notice the same textures or paint styles coming into the cloak as we start lightening it up, as we used in that picture. Because in that picture it was just raw symbolism, because there was no wild strokes. It was all controlled from start to finish. This picture is a splicing of the two. So this is going to take that intense realism, that intense control, dark outlines, vector-like images that we were using in those sessions, and combining it with something just a little bit more loose. And so you'll come away from this sort of thinking, was he trying to be specific or was he trying to be loose? I don't quite know what was happening there. I want this painting to be a mixture of both. Get you in that way. There we go. Let's sneak this in here. I don't know if you were there for those sessions, Steve, but they were pretty fun. But then they let us use reference pictures for Art Battle. So when that came around, we got people to send through images and just went for it instead. So that happened anyway. It was also faster, so more illustrative. It was a more detailed work. Am I on the right track? You are on the right track. They were fast. We were doing them in about an hour, but I thought I was going to have to get it down to about a period of 20 minutes. What turned out to occur, what turned out to be the case, was in this hand, immediately. The sandy soil can encroach up further. It's not quite far enough. There we go. Beautiful. And that wrist is going to, yeah, there we go. Wonderful. That lamb's going to get all of that. Nice. See how one colour can just take another colour over in this. It's totally fine. Don't want to go on too thick. That stroke was too thick. Not the plan. There we go. I'll leave that part in there, because that's his top. Also fast, and well actually it's funny you say that, John. Sort of. I was looking at doing a Christmassy piece, and I was going to put it forward to the community to decide. And I thought, I also wanted to dabble in a portrait. I didn't plan to be doing this portrait. But here we are. It just, sometimes, it felt right. It felt right in this instance. And so, here we are. Pretty exciting though. I'm having some fun doing it. I'm liking the fact that it's starting from a warm colour palette. And yeah, I think we will build in a Christmassy element to it. And I like the fact that if it does become a Christmassy style thing, the other thing we can do is we can make prints available before the end of the month. A cool thing about that is it means anyone who's after one for Christmas has the opportunity. Oh my God, that's Johnny's Beauty royalties on this. That's entirely your idea. I won't say that I really like this. That's funny. Well, thanks for popping on in, LJ. I appreciate it. It's lovely of you to do so. Here we go. A little bit more through here. A little bit more through here. This is all going to be that beautiful, beautiful orange colour. See how we are trying to avoid putting it on too thick. So you'll still be able to see the colour of the board coming through quite strong, especially in these early stages. It's about 50%. 50% opacity is a fair guess of where it's currently sitting in terms of strength in the paint. There we go. That can stay there like that. Fantastic. That can come down this arm here a little bit. And then that in the sky for love. I see you. There we go. The whole way up. There we are. Lovely. Just like that. Get a last little bit in there. Back up account, me too. That's funny. Look, I love it in these early stages too, but let's see what it becomes. Let's see what it becomes. We won't go too far with this one. Because we're doing accuracy in the brush strokes off the bat, we'll stop sooner rather than later. And it's not going to be every colour on the spectrum. We're going to stay to the warm palette. And stay true to the warm palette. That's the plan. Cheers, John. I appreciate you, mate. I think we might do a naughty little leap across into some blacks. Blacks, greens, greens. I say blacks, I mean greens. We're going to do some greens, team. I see you. But not with this brush. This brush is too big. Something a little more sensible. There we go. Yeah, I think the kiwi gip's one of the most wholesome ones, LJ. Because a lot of people don't know what a kiwi is. So it's pretty fun to use a kiwi. And I appreciate you, John. You're an absolute champion. Here we go. A little bit of this. Let's grab this one here. So half the size. See that? Will it actually take the zoom? Thought about it. Anyway, there we go. It kind of looks like one of those washed out religious works right now. You know how they exist for 900 years and then eventually start to fade? It's at that faded stage right now, so you can still see the picture, and it's warm, that's faded. Anyway, we'll fix that. Watch this. Watch this. The cool thing about this too, guys, quick parallel to why we also want to be here doing this picture, is an interesting thing about this is religious paintings of old were all done with the tempera. And so we're doing an old school subject matter with an old school painting technique. So usually we see the same picture, but we don't get to see it in the light of this traditional medium. So this is fun. We're doing religious work with traditional medium. And we're going to do something, cheers John. Hold fire though, because we're using the dark detail stuff. So give me like, no one said anything distracting for the next 2 minutes. Let me get some detail on this beard. Okay, Stevens, I feel that. We're going to call him Lamb Stevens. There we go. Let's get this beard in here. This lovely colour. There we go. Beautiful. And let's come up here. There we go. Lovely. And then coming down here. See this? That's the darkness of his beard. And we've used green here. The reason we use green is because of, you're all good John, you're all good. The reason we've used green here is because of John's suggestion, Christmas painting. So subtly, instead of the dark colour being black, we've turned the dark colour into green. Okay? So green's going to be that same green-red element that makes Christmas theme stuff. And we're going to bring that in a few times. So we're going to keep that green-red running as a theme through this painting. There we go. We get this eyeball here. This is the important stuff, guys. If we make a mistake with these eyes, the whole thing looks funny. It's totally fine, doesn't matter. We get a million chances for this sort of stuff, but it's nice when the eyes actually get that distant gaze to look at you, while also not looking at you. There we go. Sneak in here real quick. Beautiful. That's what we're after. Hey Jay, how we doing? Welcome on in, buddy. Welcome on in. Here we go. Cheers, John. John's like, right, he's done with the eyes. It's time. We're in. We're in. It's totally fair enough. Here we go. Okay, let's get this down in here a little bit. See, so those mountains starting to appear, darker lines on top, same story down through here. Capture that, just like that. Beautiful. And then we'll get just a little bit on across the top and down through there. Nice. Get to cut this, like this. Beautiful. Two lines, one more there. There we go. Another one. Another one. Another one, just through here, okay, like that. Highlights down here, highlights there, coming through there. Little slice, perfect. You did good, John. You did good, absolutely. Here we go. Okay, a little bit through here and here, nice. And then let's get this eyeball, this little fella. There we go. Little mouth, little nose. He's a happy fella. That's a new one. That's a new one. We haven't done that one before. How far is Bub now? Bub is at the bada bing 16-week mark. 16 weeks. So it's pretty exciting. Like that. Nice, just like that. And then let's sneak out here. 1, 2. Yeah, nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. You know, guys, if I ever get famous, rich and famous, like an early Salvador Dali style thing, and I ever have the audacity to go back on the Leap with Intentions thing, and I buy myself a giant yacht or something, can the OGs please come pull back into line, make me sell the yacht, and put all that money into everything that we thought was meaningful back when we were starting. Things like think of how much good in a place like New Zealand, an island nation. Think of how much good you could do with, like, I don't know how much a yacht goes for, 300 million for a big one. You could sort out so many problems. Just get a dog. Agreed. You know, John, that's the secret. That's the secret. You wondering how to be happy? Get a dog. Get a dog. And the dog will teach you, it'll be your mentor every single day. It'll teach you how to be happy. And it will be absolutely non-stoppable, incessant about you being happy. Every day when you get home from work, if you go to work, the dog will be waiting there to make you happy. Every night, it'll want to spend as much time with you as possible. You know, one thing that made me really like dogs is the fact that I don't think dogs, fetch. Fetch is a funny game. Think about fetch in the way that, do you really think that the dog just does that because it desperately wants to? Or does a dog think in its own mind that it's finding joy because it's something you're doing together and it makes you happy? Maybe the dog's like, hey, let's do that thing that you do with me. It's an attention thing and it's a love thing. I think that's pretty cool. And you got to think about your parents too. Your parents, your loved ones, like your family members or your kids. You have these rituals that you have with your friends, parents, loved ones, and kids that actually you do. But neither of you may not both love the ritual at all. Me and my best friend, when we were in high school, used to play pool. That used to be our thing. We'd play pool, and the pool cues and the pool balls, and we'd play endless games. I hate the game. I mean, I don't hate it. It's okay. It's a B+. He doesn't like the game that much either, but we used to play it. Why? Because it was a thing that we did together, and we haven't played since high school. But at high school, we played every single day in, day out, because it brought us together. The same reason me and my best friend played pool, and both kept showing up to play more pool, because the other one was going to be there, and we could do that activity together. I think it's the same reason a dog shows up to play fetch. And I think that is why a dog, I say stupid, what's the word? Clumsy as they can be, there's a connection there. It's a connection that's smart. If something can be happy every single day, is it really? I think it's probably the smartest animal there is. If you can be happy every single day. Look, I wish we could have afforded a dog, East Coast, and I would have absolutely had that dog playing fetch every day with me and my best mate. But as life would have it, we were high school students. We had to go to university. We couldn't have a dog. But I guarantee, I'm lining this up, John. I'm lining this up. Once the baby's here, and I'm more locked into a location, the dog's next. Because you want to have a dog that's raised alongside the kid, don't you? That's the goal. That's the dream. And that gives the kid awareness too of animals, a love and appreciation of animals. I'm not exactly running back to the farm at the moment. But so how, I have to ask myself, how am I going to get that same importance and care and love towards animals instilled in a child? Because you have to have it, guys. You have to understand and love animals. Some people didn't get raised around animals and they found them later in life. Some people were born around animals and had it instilled into them from a young age. There's no right or wrong there. There's two ways to do it and a million ways in between. But no matter how you go about it, bring animals into your life. I get it. Some people like birds, some people like dogs, some people like cats. But you can't not like animals. Like, you've got to have something that you connect with, some other species on this planet that actually keeps you sane, that you have this connection with, basically, that you love. It's healthy. It's so healthy. Some people think it's weird when people get immensely brokenhearted and things about a pet dying, or get hugely invested in a pet, as if like, oh, that's a weird thing. No, it's actually a healthy thing. It's such a connection to reality and to the earth to actually feel that towards something, and the fact that that thing, in a way, depends on you for its quality of life, and you will do nothing, or not nothing. You will do everything within your power to deliver on that happiness for the animal. Like, it's a cool relationship, right? That's a cool one. You have both. Kinshasa. I'm glad. Good for you. I like that. That's cool, Tanya. I like both those stories. That's fun. Petting cats and dogs lower blood pressure. Well, you know what? I'm glad they did the study. I don't really reckon they needed to. You could have asked me. I would have told you, absolutely that's going to lower blood pressure. It's going to make you happier. It's going to release endorphins. It's going to release serotonin, dopamine. I'm not sure, whichever one it's supposed to be. It'll release the lot. It'll be incredibly healthy for you as an individual. And if you take away the physical things, that it's going to do this, that it's going to do that, you know what it really is definitely going to do? It's going to stabilize your mental health. Animals will do that in a way that humans can't. Every day. Every day. You know why? A dog doesn't have an off day. A dog's the smartest life form on the face of this planet. Because every day a dog wakes up, it chooses to have a great day. With some exceptions. It chooses to have a great day. Every day. I've said this before, guys, but it absolutely fascinates me. I can watch dogs all day long. As I watch them, I just wonder, maybe it can rub off on me. And maybe every day I can wake up like that dog with boundless, endless amounts of happiness and joy and wonder and appreciation for anything that might happen on a given day. What an absolutely fantastic way to live your life. What way of living your life could possibly be better than the philosophy that a dog brings to every single day it's alive? Learn from that. Learn from that. Okay. Let's get, I think we want some Naples yellow. Do I have Naples yellow? You might be like, I think you ran it out, Sebastian. Surely I did not. I always take note when I run my Naples yellow out. I think, alright. There we go. See, here I am, talking to myself there, being like, I always take note when I run the Naples yellow out. And I did, I ran it out. And that's why there's a brand new fresh tube here, Naples yellow, waiting for us. Pretty funny. Past Seb. He's pretty onto it, old past Seb. He thinks about the future. And in this case here, he knew we'd need some Naples. He knew we'd need some Naples and he made it happen. That's a good thing. Here we go. A little bit of egg mix. And now in the smaller pockets of detail, we're going to shrink the brush down one. Yeah, we will. Just the one. Sorry, Tanya, call it Seb. Defo won't want another pet soon enough. My house feels empty without one. I feel that. I feel that. Alright, how are we looking? This is going to be a shake-up colour. Absolute shake-up colour. There we go. Beautiful. Naples yellow. God, that's gorgeous. That's absolutely stunning. So I'll bring this plate closer so you can see it. That's the colour we're working with. So it looks a bit more yellowy in your screen, even with a touch of green. It's not a touch of green, it's not too yellowy, it's a delicious tan. And you're going to see, as it starts to land on this artwork, the impact this is going to have. Here we go. Here we go. Honey mustard, yeah. Indeed. And you're going to see this really start to lighten this picture up. Bring in that intense lighting to the picture. Watch this happen. I love that picture. Huh. I love this picture too. There we go. And there's a singlet in here which I haven't touched so far, but we're going to fix that right now. There we go. Beautiful. All the way through there. Nice. And there's a teeny bit through here. There we go. Yeah, so you're going to start seeing these highlights. Now you'd be thinking usually on a painting, you put the highlights on at the end. So what are we doing right now? Adding highlights. Well, because we're adding one colour at a time and we're layering up with so much transparency, we can really go in at it with a chaotic approach, one colour at a time, in any direction we want to. There's really no rules to this. The biggest rule is there are no rules. No, but as soon as we start applying rules to it, we start controlling it too much. Once we control it too much, you know what we do. We turn it from a beautiful art into a craft. We don't want that. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. Let me just, my streaming thing stopped. Silly. There we go. There we go. Coming on down low. Feel like I'm commentating sometimes. Be like, and now we're going down low. Coming back to the top. Going around in little brushstroke circles. There we go. It'd be pretty cool to have a commentator as you paint. I guess we kind of already do commentate, don't we? Here we go. Okay. Let's get a little bit more around this lamb here. Down through here. There we go. Down through here. There we go. This is going to really start to highlight this little lamb. Across the head. There we go. Down through the ear. Beautiful. And then lovely. Lovely. We got someone putting their hand up to be a commentator. That's very nice. There we go. I'm going to sneak a little bit down through there, and then there we go. Lovely. A bit more up through here. Now we're talking to it. Starting to get some depth on those mountains. Hey Bobby, how we doing, mate? That's a unique way of spelling Bobby. And I'm glad you're here. There we go. And a little bit more up in here, okay. Touching the sides of the head there, just touching it. Now there's a lot of details. Can I draw you? Well, Bobby, absolutely. Best thing to do is to go on the commission form on the website, link in the bio. And let's see if we can't put a project together. Sounds like fun. Now let's get a bit more through here. There we go. Beautiful. Each stroke like it's the last. That's the plan with this one. There we go. A bit more up in here. J. Smith's onto it. There we go, the whole way up. A bit of dry brushing occurring here, just a bit. There we go. Whew, layers in the sky. Gouache paint. Before you use gouache paint, is that not common? I'm sure kids use it. Gouache paint is used by kids, and the reason it's used by kids, it's a very safe kind of paint. It's got some gum in it, apart from the gum. It's got water and pigment. So in terms of paint, for the safety of children, gouache paint really kicks a few goals. It's also used by designers and illustrators because of its opaque quality, and they can do a lot of quick fire designs with it. Artists use it, but typically find they land on other mediums like oil and acrylic to achieve the effects that they want. Being that gouache tries to dry very, very fast. Though in terms of, for me, I really, really like gouache. And the reason I really, really like gouache is because it dries incredibly fast and combines into the egg beautifully. One there, one there, one there, one there. Beautiful. Couple of highlights there on the face, making it pop. And like I say, highlights first, why not? There we go, let's get a stroke coming through here. We're going to combine this colour with just a little bit of Venetian. Thanks, Maddie. I appreciate you. I'm going to get a little bit of Venetian in here, if I can track it down. That's flame red. It's the same thing. Same thing, different name. We'll use it. Just a little bit into the navels, and it's going to give me a nice warm salmon colour. Let me show you what that looks like. Warm salmon. See that? You can see it next to the picture there. You can see how it's going to get those warm, hot colours that we've already got. And the Naples yellow, and work as like a midway man. Midway man. There we go. A little bit more of this. Perfect. And thanks, Sophie. I appreciate you. We got some new people coming on in here. That's pretty fun. Here we go. All right, this is lovely. This is lovely. This is the colour. So just so it doesn't get dominated by that. That goes. It's a shape there like that. And then it comes off the thumb very delicately. Be careful there. On the sides here, just little bits. And it needs a lot more of this than the sky. So because this is a positive painting, positive, happy-go-lucky, we'll put those warm colours underneath the sky. But to finish with, we're filling the sky with very bright, vibrant hues to bring out a beauty in that environment. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. More. go, right the way to the edge. Beautiful. We're going to come right in here. We are. Here we go. Coming down here through this hairstyle. Just gonna see how the background's actually becoming part of the hair. It's not just completely separate. It's an intrinsic part of the character that we're capturing and the landscape that he finds himself in. There we go. Beautiful. How are you never covered in paint? It's a good question. It's a good question. Now, we're very, very careful. Every stroke. There we go. Lovely. And right at the top here. All out. Here we go. That's good. With this technique, remember, we're not doing any mixing. No colours mixing, no colours. So if you want to get smooth gradients and gently mix colour after colour, another method would be best for you. This one here, what we really want to be doing, is one colour at a time, and the only goal is to choose a colour that we feel like doing next. Look at the picture, decide what that colour is. No wrong answers, there's no wrong answers. And hammer that onto the canvas. In this case, the board. Here we go. A little bit more through there. Beautiful. Right up to the top. This is not a commission. This is not a commission. This is Christmas painting. But I want to do a portrait, and a lot of people have been asking me for a Jesus portrait. And I haven't done it. So, now, today is the day. Here we are. There we go. His hand here. Perfect. Yeah, I can see that. Well, it's not just for anyone, individuals though. This is for this portrait. It's done with beautiful colour, with a medium, art, which is designed to connect people. Subject matter in art, there's only one facet of how it goes about actually connecting with and bringing people together. So, yes, it's Jesus, yes, there's a lamb, yes, it's full of symbolism. Does that mean two people who are not religious would be unable to enjoy a picture like this? Absolutely not. We're going to do it in such a way that it's more about revealing to everyone the beauty of just a moment. Beauty of a moment. Definition in the face, the lamb in the hands, but apart from that, you better be careful too, John. Careful, John, careful. Your husband might leave on. Imagine that if he's watching. It's like, oh, I know what John's getting me. John's like, are you kidding me? He doesn't have TikTok. Let me have a little look-see here. I want someone to draw a picture of me and bring it as a Christmas present. It's very specific, MacBoy. How are you never covered? Oh, there we go. Is that a no? Sorry, I missed that there. Sorry, Timmy. Auction sites. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It's going to come up there a little bit more. Perfect. Perfect. I want to get a little bit of yellow through this. Here, a little bit of yellow. Or yellow ochre. That's going to be wild. Okay, it's a little bit naughty. It's not in the plan, but we're going to do it anyway. A little bit of yellow ochre into my salmon. That's going to give me a brownish colour. But this colour here is getting dangerously close to what a lot of this pigment and a few of these spots wants to be. There we go. Perfect. Get up the top here. And then through there we go. Perfect. Get up the top here. There we go. Bear with me while I just get this a little bit here. Round through here. And then just in the nose here. And down through here. Now we're talking. Nice. Down here the neck. And just through there. There we go. Sorry for whispering too. Just get quite romantic when you get it on the face there and you try and actually capture it in just a few strokes, which can be quite wild. And I'll show you what it looks like there, because it's in quite of a raw fashion at the moment, which is really nice. I'm not related to Paddy Hayden, not at all. And yeah, so no bleeding of colour. No. What we do with this technique, with my technique, is I don't like to slowly whittle away and make one colour into another one. You can do that better on a phone or on a laptop or in Photoshop. What I can do, what I love to do, is get the colour that goes on top and make it slightly more transparent. And so rather than two colours becoming one and not really having their own individual presence, I go for presence. Both the strokes equally represented in that moment, but because of their opacity, you can see both simultaneously. That's how I like to do it. Birdie, welcome on back. Hope you're doing well. You're here just in time for a Zoom. And let's zoom in right now. All right, team, I'm going to bring you on the face. We're just going to do the face, nothing too major. Here we go. Around here like this. Oops, excuse me. Here we go, just like that. And this is what these strokes look like up close. So the closer we get, the more it's going to turn to brush strokes. You ready? About here, we can start seeing the brush strokes. It becomes abundantly clear, especially in those hills. And then the closer we come, now about here, we can see brush strokes, and the face is becoming more disorientated, more just made of little wispy moments. And then we come right in, and bang. At this point here, we almost lose the face altogether. We can just see wild brush strokes. And I think you can actually see how the painting's made. That's beautiful. And those little moments that show you this is where the paint went. That sort of inclusive quality of you always being able to tell how every stroke went on, That's the beauty of great art, in my opinion. So a good example of that, a good example of that is Van Gogh. When you look at a Van Gogh or a Picasso, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. But you can also look at it and say, this is what I love about them, you can say, I could make that. Perfect. If you can look at a Van Gogh or Picasso, or look at a great work of art and say, I could make that, that means that artwork isn't gatekeeping any qualities. It's open, it's showing itself to you, and you can still see beauty in it. If you feel that connection with it, then I know you'd think like, for example, like children's drawing, you'd be like, I can make that. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to see the difference between the artistic expression of an adult and the artistic expression of a child, because they're both raw and authentic. And so if you can actually make something with the same passion as a child, that's the goal of being an adult. That's the dream. And trust me, if you look at the picture, you look up close and you see each brushstroke and understand it, and you're able to say, I could make that, and then stand back and see beauty, that's the piece of art that you want to have around you. That's healthy for you. All right. Okay. Like onion skin layers, exactly like that, Hayden. It's like Shrek. Okay, let's have a little look here. Okay. Lovely. What's the next colour off the ranks going to be? Bit of purple, bit of magenta. But before we do that, a little bit more of this colour. Are we going to do that? Or am I bored of this colour? Surely I'm bored of it. We'll put it down for now. And we'll jump on colour number dos. Colour number dos. Now I haven't really been liking that ochre pink. That was a mistake to buy that. I usually mix my own pink, and recently I bought ochre pink thinking that'll be a smart move. It was not so much. Right, so we're going to go from a little bit of blue, ultramarine, very, very transparent, into strong magenta, moving across into violet. That's our next three colours. Violet's going to have the most effect. All three colours are going to be really, really transparent. So here is my blue, ultramarine coming in right close there, so you can see it. That's the little zoom. There we go. That's the ultra, and this is how much we're going to use. This is all you need. Ready? Lay here. Yeah. That's all this painting is going to require. So that tiny little dot. Because of the pigment potency that comes out of these gouache things, the amount of pigment in this, that when I get this, my mix, remember how much I put in this bowl here? See that? That tiny little dot? I'm going to put this in here. A lot of this egg. A lot of egg. Put this over here. Pick up a paintbrush. Bring this on close, see that? Now we're going to mix it right up in here close. This is how the old school masters used to do it. They'd use powdered pigment. This pigment's got a little bit of, what do you call it? Gum arabic, which is totally fine. And you can see here, now that aquamarine, because it's only the tiniest little amount, it doesn't completely consume the egg yolk, but we get that lovely dark hue. And when it dries, it's going to pop with beautiful, beautiful intensity. Alright. When it goes on here though, unmistakably aquamarine blue. But it's a very, very delicate colour, guys. You might notice it very, very subtly. There we go. A bit more of these mountains, lovely. I probably went a little bit shy. It's not like me. A little bit shy. Let's grab a little bit more. Well, there we go. Like I only put a little bit in though, because now I started putting some paint on, made me realise actually I want a little bit of magenta. Aquamarine blue, a little bit of magenta. There we go. Luxurious purple. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very, very transparent. that last little bit. There we go. Lovely. What's this type of painting called? This ancient kind of painting, it's called egg tempera. Not tempura like the like the food. This is egg tempera. Egg tempera is one of the oldest styles of paintings that has ever existed. And we know it's one of the oldest styles of paintings because the paintings, it's one of the best kind of paintings, sorry, because it still exists to this day. Those ancient religious works that were made with egg tempera are still going strong. They don't yellow, and provided they're kept in good quality, out of direct sunlight, or protected properly, they last indefinitely. So it's the most beautiful, beautiful technique. So delicate. So delicate. And so now we're putting a very, very transparent, not a really intense coat. You might be used to, when I get a hold of magenta, me putting on those really bang coats to it. This is not a bang coat. This is a gentle, gentle overcoat. I want magenta in there. I want to add its vitality and its colour to the picture, but I don't want to overwhelming those warm tans. This is me saying magenta has to be a part of the picture, but it doesn't have to dominate the picture. Am I talking sense? Birdie, I'll tell you what, that day may be sooner than you realise, because I was looking at doing a painting course and I thought, you know what, it's sort of silly me doing a painting course and then telling you guys, buy any paint off Amazon, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I've reached out to a few groups, and here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm going to get some pigments and make them available. So you can just buy the pigments, use eggs nearby you, a little box will arrive with your pigments, and then you can literally make the same kind of paint that I make, and from there, copy the style. And I say copy it, I know that's a bad word. Steve, you were around this morning, you heard me talking about imitation. But there's an element of copying that occurs along the journey that helps you better understand yourself. It's okay to walk the same path as someone else. It's okay to do that as an artist until you get to the point where you know where your own path is going to lead. And then you jump on that and run at it. But I haven't got it sorted yet, guys. So if I find non-toxic, perfect pigments ready to go, available for you, I'll just tell you where they are on Amazon or where to buy them online. If they don't exist, I will package them up myself and make non-toxic, beautiful pigments available for you guys. Same stuff that I use, but for now, best thing to do, eggs, gouache paint, safe as can be, put together some paintings. Birdie, I've seen your works, and I love the fact that you paint outside, that you're making it out in an environment, and when you are inside, it's a big space. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Don't work in confined areas, Birdie. Please don't ever do that. Your artwork's beautiful. Keep working on it in big spaces. Thanks, Sky. Appreciate you. There we go. Over these mountains. Wonderful. Then down through it. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. All right, it's 2:43 here in New Zealand, and we are so far away from done. You paint more inside when it's cold and rainy. Fair enough. Totally get that. Every chance you get though, Birdie, do not get comfortable with that studio. You get out there and you paint outside. There is no better studio than the outside world. And you'll be like, oh, but my paint dries, but this happens, but that happens. Nah, please, 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 please. Use outside to your advantage. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Even when the paint dries and everything seems to go wrong, you'll have a better day. It's like a And they say, the saying, a bad day of fishing beats a good day of anything else. I'll tell you, a bad day outside beats the best day inside. That's my opinion. Beautiful. There we go. Now a little bit more down through here. Lovely. Made good ground with it actually. It was very tacky. I liked it though. Tacky, but I liked it. What am I going to use next? A little bit of white in there on this one now. Just a teeny tiny bit. To give me that violet touch. So we did a bit of a dark magenta. Next one, a little bit of a light magenta. Yes, 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 yes. Outside lighting. It's lovely. At the moment with the inside lighting, it's actually a little bit harsher. So you might see the light on my face. With the outside lighting, it smooths it off in a very, very nice way. So, and you'll actually make your paintings probably when you're outside, if you're always used to doing it inside, with a little bit more contrast, which is kind of fun. Because you'll start seeing things or wanting it to be as in contrast as you're used to. That was too much white, hold on. Let me get a bit of that out of there. There we go. A little bit of this. Beautiful. Lovely. Thanks, Soap Rose. Soap X Rose. Okay, pastel lilac. That's what we've got here now. Get it all mixed up. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Pastel lilac. And that's going to come into these hills here. One thing about painting with egg tempera is if you move too fast, it starts to bubble up, like speed bubbles. Which on one hand is kind of cool, on the other hand too, you want to make sure you keep that beautiful consistency in the paint. Just gently lay it down. Here we go. Where are we going to go next? Just a bit into here. Okay. There we go. You can see how I'm adding this cloak, this effect over the whole cloak that he's got. Hey Vernon, how you doing? Bad Boy Pete, welcome on in. And the reason I'm adding it over the whole cloak is because that will make it have that continuity through it. There we go. Lovely. Beautiful. And just brush strokes in the right direction, causing the right things in the painting. Every single brush stroke is present, guys. There's an element of transparency the whole way through this picture. And the beauty behind that is it means you can see all the layers, all the time, all at once. Beauty to that. There we go. Lovely. Good shepherd, indeed. There we go. There in the sky. There we go. Beautiful. And a little bit more through there. Right at the top. There we go. We come in the sleeve here. Coming right down on the floor. Thanks, Aiden. I appreciate you, mate. There we go. A bit more through here. Nice. Just getting that continuity in its cloak. And then coming across here. Nice. We're going to need to get a little bit of orange into this soon, which I'm going to look forward to. There we go. Down to the sheep here a little bit. Beautiful. And then down through here. Nice. A little bit more on the sheep's face here. And there we go. Up on my feet there. Up on my feet. I'm going to come across these mountains a little bit more. Like that. There we go. The whole way. Beautiful. Wonderful. And just like that. Just like that. You get it right in here. On these edges. Coming down, right to that edge. Fantastic. Cutting down the side of his neck. And a little bit in his hair. So this brings out the beauty and the continuity between the landscape and through the hair. There we are. Coming together. So, next colour off the ranks is going to be yellow. Yellow's playing a massive role here, team. Absolutely massive role. That's the next colour off the ranks. And I don't think we're going to splice it at all. I think we're just going to put it on completely raw. Going down to a smaller brush too. And yellow's going to cut a lot of the detail into it, and it's going to be that colour that settles between red and green. So it's going to settle in between them. The reason it's settle in between, yellow is in green, and yellow is through the orange and the red. It's going to bring the whole thing together. At the moment, there's a level of contrast between the two colours, but as we continue to add paint to it, especially with the yellows, that contrast will still be there between those two colours, but more continuity across the palette. That's the plan. Anyway, enough yarning about it. Let's see if Seb can actually pull it off. Or if it's just one big talker. These are the questions. Next colour off the ranks is permanent yellow deep. That's what we're after. That is what we're after. There we go. Beautiful. Let's get this here. Sorry guys, just giving my workspace tidy. here. Lovely. A little bit of liquid. And there it goes. Down here. Perfect. Alright. Del Parson. Alright. Is the fan underneath meant to help? Look, it does a couple of things, Candace. There's a couple of things. So the fan underneath right now is blowing fresh air up at it. Now it is keeping the air fresh, but there's nothing inside this paint. Most of the paints you can actually eat, which is wild. There's nothing inside the paint that's dangerous, although I want it to dry faster, so it's pushing cold air up into it. That's the go. That's what's happening at the moment. And remember, the end result of this work, the end result is to be far, far more impressionistic than realistic. But get ready, because this next coat is going to be about adding warmth into this picture. Warmth. That's what I want you to see when we start throwing these colours at it. And the beauty behind this is Permanent Yellow Deep actually has a really, really similar power to it to an egg yolk. And so this is going to look like actual yolk is going onto it. Actual yolk is going onto the surface instead of just it being a regular colour. And that's wonderful for the highlights because it adds that element of life into the picture and creates continuity between the facts. Not only is it life, but it's acknowledging that egg tempera paint that it's made from. It's part of the beauty. And we talked about this at the start, but obviously it'll come up a few times in terms of religion. In this case here, like I said, all religions in my mind are a path to God. Now our only job here is to represent love and mercy. Here we go. And a beautiful portrait. There we are. More down through here. And across this cheek. See this warmth coming into his face now? There we go. Wonderful. Thanks, Sky. I'm going to put, guys, it's going to be a little bit cheeky. Because we're going to talk about symbolism. I'm going to put more yellow than it actually exists in the photo around the head. And what it's going to do is it's going to form a halo ever so slightly, only if you're looking for it with yolk. And the reason why that's beautiful, obviously, being yolk, all the links you can find in that, but also it's going to highlight the head and create that artificial halo. In this case, a real halo of spirituality made in the egg around his head. That's the beauty there. Here we go. Beautiful. Oh, you do diamond art. That's pretty cool, Gov. You know what I love? How many actual artists join in here. That's really, really cool to see. And if you're not an artist, don't get the wrong impression. You are absolutely not only welcome here, you are wanted. This is an environment for everyone. The only reason I'm here, and I'm honest here, I'm here on TikTok because I believe that art's a lonely, lonely drag. Drag? A lonely process, a lonely endeavor, and it doesn't need to be. We can do this together, we can grow together, we can make art together, and you're going to instill more joy into my process. We can do that together than I could do on my own. That's the dream, guys. The dream is that together is better than alone, and I believe that with art. I don't believe in the past. Think about those cave drawings in Turkey. I don't believe some man sat down there and made those in complete isolation, all women, all by themselves. Never seen the light of day. I believe that was done as a team effort. Whether one watched and one did, They all watched and one did, or whether all joined in and made together, doesn't matter. I believe it was done together, and that's the beauty in that. I don't think it's any different today. I think we have a responsibility to bring song and dance in front of as many people as possible and do it together. So why would art in its purest, craziest form be any different? Thanks, God. I appreciate you, mate. Yes, 100%. And the amount of artists now, I mean, social media gets a bad rap, but the amount of artists out there sharing their stuff with the world, forming communities, and creating more love on social media is abundant. I know some people are hurt. I know some people are hurt about their crafts and about what they're doing and about what they hear about it sometimes, but the fact that you can share something as pure as art, it's a visual platform. It's a visual platform. How wild is that? Previously, music and dance have had their places, and art now has theirs. In this visual environment, we can all share in a moment. It's just great, guys. I originally first started streaming because of my family. They wanted to join in. And so it was literally because of connection that I even started showing this stuff in the first place at all. And once I started doing that, so many more people started finding something in it. And now it's this. All of us together. But you add so much into it, team. Don't ever underestimate your impact by being here, joining me while we make the art. If I was here by myself, this art wouldn't look the same, it wouldn't have the same vitality in it, and it wouldn't have the same energy. Not that it wouldn't, it couldn't. It absolutely couldn't. It's like trying to embellish yourself with true love when you're by yourself. How's that going to be possible? It takes two, at least two. All right, Goff. Catch you later. Thanks for coming on in, by the way, Goff. We will see you, hopefully, next time. You busy bee? Until then. It's going to get a little bit more yellow into here. Down these bottom parts. Perfect. Keeping that rawness in it, but just changing that hue to be a little bit brighter. Beautiful, just like that. A little bit over here. You can get all to them. There we go. And then down in here. Nice. Oh yes. A little bit over here. There we go. Just a little bit. There we go. Wow, back onto my feet. If lost, phone home. You are here. True. Would you ever paint clay pottery or statues? Absolutely. Absolutely. Long to go on this one? We'll see. I'm going to change the colour up a little bit now and add a little bit of white into our lovely yellow. If I remember where I put my white. That's always the catch. And after that, we'll see where it takes us. But because we're applying every stroke, and you'll know this too, because if you watch my reels, you'll be like, where was that going? We're applying every stroke in this painting like it's our last. And that yields a very different result. Very different result. And we had some people here saying even, after we put down the red, that it's done. And they're correct. At every given stage, it's technically done. Every stroke that we put on is the very next stroke to best represent completion within the painting. After we've done that, we're just adding. So we can stop whenever we like. But I want to put this colour in here to highlight more of the robe. And here's what I want to bring into it. So if I swipe the screen here, you can see the character here. You can see a little bit of the yellow around him. You can see his hands clasping, and you can see the lamp in his hands and the robes. have continuity through them with a landscape which matches the colour of him. I love this. The reason the landscape's the exact same colours and nothing new. I am the land is me. Little subtlety there is that we actually want to get a glow. There's a glow from up here coming down onto him. It's been shown here in the face a little bit, but not exacerbated enough to actually show that hit with light coming from down here. Once we hit it with light, then we're done. We've got the figure, we've got the symbolism. That's as much symbolism as I need. You can see what's happening. We've got the landscape and the figure of the body and the sky. That's everything I need there. What I need now is a highlighted light hitting. And then after that, I want to get a little bit, the last thing is a little bit more tone of Venetian red to blend the highlighted face here down to the bottom, but I won't know exactly how much until I add this next colour on. And then, who knows? Who knows? We might be finished, or we may need more again. It's a crazy world out there. There we go. Let's get these in here. Beautiful. See that having an impact here. Get this in here. And around through there. Nice. Okay, and then up in the sky. This is going to be that highlight. You're going to start seeing some light in the sky. Here we go. Beautiful. Coming the whole way up through here. Nice. And then across the top there. You're starting to see that, how that warmth in these colours is coming down towards it. There we go. Beautiful. A bit more in there. All right. Sorry for going silent every now and again too, guys. Just caught up in making sure this paint lands just the way I want it to. There we go. There we go. All right. We're going to get a little bit more through here on the lamb. Keep giving a little bit of attention to the lamb. And the beauty in this too, guys, similar to the landscape, everything also is the same colour as the lamb. And when I talk about mercy, we're talking about empathy as well. And so when I say empathy, I want you to think about the fact that the land, the man, and the lamb have the exact same pigments constructing them. No more, no less. There's a quality through that. That's that classic thing. Look out for the person beside you, because in a weird way, they kind of are you. Here we go. There we go. Let's get a little bit more through there. Here we are. A little bit down to there. A little bit down to there. A little bit down to there. Come on down. Here we are. Alright. What does the first part of Christmas sound like to you? Hello from Brazil, how you doing? This isn't Christmas spirit, it has Jesus. What has Jesus got to do with Christmas? Hey Claire, how are we doing? You know what? It doesn't completely consume Christmas. It doesn't completely consume the holiday. It's a part of it for some people, and it's totally fine for it to be that for those people. And in terms of for you, you can celebrate what those people celebrate, or you can continue celebrating what you celebrate. And that's the beauty of choice. You're allowed that. But what we should never do is think that because we have a stance of something we believe in, that other people shouldn't have theirs. We can go as far as to celebrate theirs. And then go back to our own. But I think we can all agree that we like Christmas, that Christmas is fun. It's a great time. Our families see each other. We may see our families, we may see our close friends, we may spend it with our loved ones, we may just wrap up the year and prepare ourselves for the next one. But whatever it is that we do, we love it. And so, in this case here, although it may not encompass the entire thing for you, let it be something that you smile at, and that it is something significant for a holiday that you love for someone else. And that could be pretty special, I reckon. Wow. Christmas is just Christmas, you're making stuff up. You can't smile. I think you're getting hung up too much on the wrong things here. First on, I think what you want to do is follow an old cowboy saying, if it ain't hurting nobody, let it be. And in this case, in 2023, as we sit here in this wholesome, inclusive environment, painting this picture, and celebrating the fact that our families are about to spend time with each other, or we're going to see our loved ones in the next 2 months, I think it's not hurting anyone. If anything, I'd say it's about to make a lot of people really happy. And that's something that I'll get on board with 100% of the time, every time. See, if every Christmas had to be the same, then the Americans out there, or the Kiwis, would have to suddenly swap. Because, I'll tell you what, out there right now, there's people having white Christmases, and there's people having sunny Christmases. If you have snow during your Christmas, then you're completely different from me. At my Christmas, I have a whole bunch of sun. Endless, boundless sun. Bask in it, do a barbecue, have a beer. Whereas, they need to be the same. Hey, the weather's so different already. Christmas is different physically before we even get started on what it's for. Here we go. Put that through there. All right. Hey Chip, how we doing? Probably because we've got so many different cultures in here, Chip. Kiwi talking, Americans hanging out, people from everywhere. We might have missed the joke. There we go. Now let's get this out of here. A little bit of this in here. This one here. Mix it up. Extra white. That's the plan now. landscape. Coming through here. Beautiful. And then coming down through there. And up in here. Nice. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit down through there. A bit on the top of the head here, actually. There we go. Didn't mean to add the wave emoji. Fair enough. So we need this white and connect it all the way up to the top there. Perfect. Lovely. Now, one last colour, as I said I was going to. Cheers, Sophie. All right, one last colour, because I said I was going to. There's going to be a little bit of this flame red. Full circle. This is the colour we started on. It's going to be the colour that we finish on for it right now. Now, we may come back with more colours, but right now, this is the closing scene, I think, for what we're taking this painting. There. Oh yeah. You saw me touch it there a few times, yeah. I was popping a bubble, John. I didn't think I was going to get away with that. But yeah, So there's a little bubble in the painting. Sometimes I pop them, sometimes I leave them, sometimes they're charming. There we go. How are we looking? One last little colour, guys. I know I said this would be the last one. I lied to you. I don't regret it. One last colour. Bear with me for this. This is going to be worth it. Now that I look at this, one more colour. Here we go. A little bit of phthalo blue. Teeniest, tiniest little bit. With a little bit of white. Just like that. Close that up, grab this brush, a little bit of this. Voila. And we mix it in here. Here we go, final colour, final colour. And you're going to see how this is going to go from its heat, its golden warmth, to a teeny tiny bit of daybreak. There we go. And we'll pause there too. Whew. Okay, spin this around the face here, and then I'm going to get a tissue and do a little bit of a cleanup. But first, spin it around there. Here we go. Coming on around this way. Voila. There is our version of Jesus. This was not an AI image. I should have asked AI for one, but I was on a last minute sort of buzz, so I wanted to get it out to start it straight away. So I chose a regular picture of Jesus. And I loved the idea of his hands clasping. So that was part of the intentions behind that. And I think we've had a bit of fun here. Let me look at that from a distance. Yeah, we've got them. So you can see there, we've got two paint styles lingering together. We've got the looseness of my usual strokes coming through with a lot of it, sort of jarringly splicing over each other. And then we have the traditional symbolism and the power of iconography coming through in a few of the features. So there's a good mixture occurring there, which I find kind of fun. I find that kind of fun. Okay. Let's get, what time is it? 3:30. Will we start another one? That's the question. I think we'll let this sit for a while too. We may come back to this and put more layers on it. That's kind of cheeky right now. It's kind of cheeky. Gets a gold star from me right now. Put that out to there. Is it better? There we go. Coming around this way. Come here, Jesus. We'll put you down here. And then we will grab, I have the board here somewhere. Here we go. Here we go. The second board. I'm going to have some art back in my house in no time too. That's the plan. There we are. Back in there. Fantastic. Droplets of paint off the ground. They don't quite stick to the ground, which is kind of fun. Because it's egg, it needs a gesso surface over here too. And since this is just plastic, it doesn't stick. Pretty funny. I don't think it'll even stick to this either. Got a few little drips down here too. Don't think it'll stick to that plasticky surface, but we'll find out. We'll find out together. Let the fun commence. Alright, there we go. Alrighty tighty. Let's put this over here. Under that one. Whew. Let me just bring that back up. So I can't believe how few colours there are. Oh, cheers, John. I appreciate that. Predominance of various shades of yellow. Thanks, Lirac. At least it wasn't on me. Actually, I've got one blip of red here. I'll show you. I'll come close. See that one there? Right there? Little blip next to that shark. So I did get paint on myself, but not a whole lot. And since it's just pigment and egg yolk, it can be washed out, but you use cold water, not hot. And then after a couple of days, it's completely set and it's game over. This is a air purifier, but I just put it there so I can push air up at the canvas and make the surface dry out faster. I'll just take a little bit of a look-see here. There we go. How's that feel? Yeah, perfect. Just making sure the gesso is thick enough. It'll work just fine. Looks like, yeah, I think I'll get away with it, John, but it is now in there. It is now in there. Right. Are we going to do another portrait? Well, what is the plan? That's the question, team. What's the plan? Alright, I'll tell you what, the first thing I'm going to do is grab a seat. Or give myself a little bit of a sit down in between painting rounds. Tilt you down to there. There we go, team. And then let's just have a little look-see here. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to look through my emails and see if there's anything specifically charging up right now. A specific person, or are we doing one like laughter or wisdom? We can do a specific person and then imbue those things into it. We have all those options available to us. Just put that there. That's a little timer for a break. All those options are available to us. The world's our oyster. Okay, let me have a little look-see here. Dun, 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 dun. Where was I going to? Here we are. Okie dokie. Sorry guys, be with you in 1 second. 1 second. I hope a few of you might have been around for this morning's live, which would be quite cool. Just making sure there's no questions. I'm trying to keep on top of the comments these days, guys, and make sure anyone who asks any questions, I get back to them. Because the comments can be something that just gets away on you. But anyway, there we go. Okay, good. Gonna take the pups out for a break. Be back. Yeah, take some time, John. Go for a walk. I love that. I love that. And by the time you come back, we'll probably decide what we'll do. Maybe. We'll see. John's like, don't count on it. Imagine if John got back and I'm still just here sitting, yarning, drinking the same cold cup of coffee, and the canvas is completely untouched. It's possible. It's possible. But I think we'll make a decision. I think we'll make a decision. Every time typically when I get a picture and I think, yep, we'll paint that, and I sit on it, and I sit on it, and I sit on it, you know what happens? I overthink it. And then I start thinking what colours would be best to finish on, and the way it should look, and what it'll come out like. And by the time I've done that, and get in front of the canvas, I've starved it of any ability to be creative within the process itself. And so I have to go back to the drawing board and actually sometimes find a new image, start from scratch, so I don't overthink the very strokes that make that image what it is. A little bit of water, keep me going. So we've got enough egg for another work. Here's the amount of egg we have left. Voila. We're almost exactly at halfway on our egg ratio, which is quite impressive. We can be quite proud of ourselves. And we have to basically decide what to paint. So, you 54 souls out there anywhere in the world, what ideas do you have kicking around in your heads? One of the ideas I've got right now, unless we get something really compelling thrown at us, is Freddie Mercury on stage. Hey Ashley, how you doing? Welcome on in. You've come here just as we finish off previous painting. We're about to start a new one. About to. What board do you paint on? This one here is a masonite board with a layer of what's called GAC 100, which is a binder, and then a layer of gesso, transparent. So it looks like it's got nothing on it, but actually it's got two beautiful coats which strengthen it and get it ready to go. Have you ever done a floral painting? Lilies are my fave. We have done some floral paintings, Lorenzo. We've done hibiscus surf, which has left the building, which is absolutely tragic. I'm missing it lots. And the question is, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Let me see here. Let me see. Do I have any images? Usually I have some saved images here that I keep on my phone. I think, yeah, we'll paint that one day. We'll paint that one day. Hoity-toity. Unless we just straight up grab a picture. Or, here's a fun game. I love this game. Maybe I start painting. I don't tell you guys what I'm making. Not until not until one of you figures it out. There we go. Let's go. I'm going to go for a portrait here. The viewpoint at the top of Pinnacles track. Ooh. Ooh. That's a good call, Holdings. I like it. I like it. Maybe we do this portrait. Maybe. Yeah, let's see who can spot this. This will be fun. See if you can spot this one. Okay, I'm going to download it onto the iPad, but I'm going to put the iPad around this side now so you guys can't see the photo. Otherwise, it's going to be a giveaway. You'll be like, I know what it is. So first person to guess it's the winner. Of nothing, but you get all the kudos from this live stream. It is a portrait, and it's a person you definitely know. Okay? Portrait and person you definitely know. Let me get this through here. There we go. Perfect. And this one can come on down in here. And LLW Holdings. It does sound very exciting. Best thing to do, there's a form via their bio. If you leap on that, jump on that one, and we may be able to put a project together. Might be quite exciting. Is that, how are we angled there? Are we on the, yeah, we're sorted. We're golden. Get everything you need. Can we start guessing? No, it's too early. Wait, be patient. Patience. It's a virtue. It's a virtue, that's what they say. There we go. Let me just find the correct picture that I'm after. I had it on my phone, but I want it on the iPad. Here we go. Gotta make sure I don't point the screen at you. Did I have it? No, you haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen it yet. Perfect. Here we go. Let's get this and swap this down to... Perfect. Okay, I'm going to bring this iPad in here. I'm going to have the screen off while I get it into position. Otherwise, someone will be there taking screenshots. Sneaky, sneaky. Someone will be sneaky, I'm sure. There we go. And you guys won't be able to see it then because it's on the perfect angle. Fantastic. And now I'm going to put it on here. Sorted. It might turn out a little bit this way, but you guys won't be able to see it. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Cheers, Roger. This is true, guys. In terms of, yeah, Roger said it. He's all about it. This is about painting, connection, and life, guys. So, and I will say about life though, exercise is important. Go for a walk, eat healthy, swim. I went for a swim this morning actually. It was cold. It was very cold, but it was all right. I survived, but it was cold. All right, we're going to use up the last of this paint to kick this painting off, which is going to be a little bit wild because this is going to control the first colours that go on it, which is pretty funny. So we don't even get to choose. That's relinquishing control to chaos. I love it. Here we go, a little bit through here. Someone just starts barking out, JFK, Billy Murray. Here we go. Oh, that's right. I'll put my phone up here. Here we go. Get that. Ding, ting. How's that? That's perfect. That's perfect. Nope, no, it's not perfect. It's about to be perfect. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh. Hey Naya, how you doing? Yeah, we painted a picture, we've swapped it out. I'll show you the last one actually. I'll bring it in here. Bring it around this way. We're not finished it yet, but we're finished layer one. So this is the picture we just did. Voila. And the next one is going to be a surprise. So you won't know what the next one's going to be. It's all wild. First person who gets it gets 10 points. And we're just going to shoot from the hip. Get started with the colours from the last portrait. Here we go. And if anyone knows where I can replace this air purifier for an R2-D2 looking like one, I reckon that'd be pretty cool. Okay. Here we go. What am I painting on? This is masonite. It's a beautiful surface to paint on. Perfectly flat, which actually helps a lot with the painting process. There we go. Beautiful. Around here. Lovely. Hey AJ, how you doing? Sounds like he's on a mod for me? Nah, Terry, we've got some fantastic people here. But I appreciate it. Well, that's going to come up much harder than I've given it credit for. There we go. All right. Did you treat the masonite before painting on it? Yes, absolutely. So it's been treated with gesso, sized, rubbing alcohol, everything to get it prepared for painting. You can't paint straight onto it, otherwise the wood will soak it up and it'll be damaging to what the wood's going to be. So the key is to soak it first. Soak it, soak it, soak it. And once it's been soaked, you're golden. You're good to go. Soak it in that gesso. There we go. I've got through here. Did you go to art school? Would you recommend it if you did? I did go to art school. If it's part of your journey, if you think it's going to help you, I do recommend it. But it's not something that you have to do. It's something that you can do. It's a big difference. Some people go to Polytech, and that's totally okay as well. It's okay to do your own trajectory. Some people are self-taught. They teach themselves to paint. That's okay. There we go. Ooh-wee. We'll walk through here. At the end of the day, I've said this before, but your peers will impact your process the most. People you surround yourself with. It is a man's face. Which man is the question? Oh, it might be a man's. Could be a woman's. Hemingway. No, we've done Hemingway already. Very fun picture, but we've done Hemingway. Let's get some movement in here. Here we go. And let's snap it through there. Oh, someone got, are you kidding me? Get out of here, John. Getting some more water. You kidding me? I thought I was going to at least get on to calorie number 5. Are we? I'm out of here. I'm coming back. Alright, I'm back to. Here we go, let me just scroll on down. Yes, it's over. John's guessed it. Morgan Freeman. Alright, the gig's up. Oh. That's the problem. When someone gets to know your painting style quite intimately, they can see as soon as you start highlighting strokes and focusing on areas, it's like, oh, it's that character. Definitely. I've hardly managed to make a start. But anyway, we've had some fun. So we'll strike some more paint on this canvas. And for anyone else who's new here, you'll start to see more of Morgan as we add some more paint on. But for now, just enjoy a bit of paint slashing around. Maybe it's the hand that gave it away too. There's a lot here. He's a favourite actor? Yeah. He shaved his head recently, which surprised me. I always known him to have the frizzy hair, and I was looking through his photos, and the shaved hair kept coming up, which is, what a lovely man though. Incredible voice. Incredible actor as well. We all know him for his voice, but actually, it's not just the voice, it's everything he does with his diction, the way he talks, the way he considers, his acting talent, great acting talent. What's Diadro Army? Diadro's Army. What is Dialis? I don't know. Maybe it's like a hijacking stream thing. I was like, hey, let's just go around in a big group and say it. Hey Diadro, how we doing? Friends of mine, I see. Okay, I'm following. That's pretty funny. G'day guys, how we all doing? Welcome on in. Lovely to have you here. Not hijacking with John's friends. Yeah, you're all good. Wherever you're from, you're more than welcome to be here. You've just caught us. We've just started a new portrait. Bunch of wild colour going all over the show. We're using a special brush though. Now, this is going to appear different. You have something for me. Well, I've got something for you too. It's a good vibe, and you can take it for free. Now, see this here? See that brush? Half the bristles stop, and then it gets thinner at the top. Now, the wonderful thing about this brush is it's going to make this painting more wispy compared to the other ones we've done. If you look at this previous one, since the army's in here, we'll show the army the picture. If you look at this previous one, the brush strokes are very clear. It's obvious where they've gone. It's obvious. With this one, it's going to act more like grain, wispy, strokey. It's going to leave behind trails, and arguably up close with a little bit more details. But we'll see how it goes. Oh dear. Okay. I'm getting distracted. I'm taking this brush out here. We're going to go into a little bit of red here, and we're going to add this on. By the time this goes on, then we'll be ready to attack these negative space areas with a whole bunch of bada bing bang boom, dark hues. Question is, what's Morgan Freeman? How's it best done? Cheers, Diadro. You're a legend, mate. So I was going to say, oh yeah, sorry, I'm watching. I was going to say, the question is Morgan Freeman best presented in ultramarine, or is he best presented in more of a green? I'm thinking blue or green, probably not dark red, so we could. Purple? Or change of plan, back. Morgan Freeman, let's do him in a deep royal purple. This is a good plan. Touches of green, touches of aquamarine, but actually deep royal purple. That's the goal. I saw it. I was watching. I glance over. I've got the screen on a sideways angle for myself, but it's quite funny sometimes because I happened to John before. I gave John a lecture. I was like, all right, no one do anything while I gently stroke these eyes into place. And I appreciate that, guys. You looked after me for that. Here we go. All right. Now bear in mind too, guys, we've done our more specific portrait. So we're going to get a little more wild with this one. So we're going to get this paint everywhere. Let's just have some fun. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, I'm starting to lose track of the conversation, but I'll do my best. I'll stick to my job of making paint happen. There we go. For those who are new here, this is New Zealand. My name's Seb. I paint, that's what I do, that's what I love. I literally fall asleep about it, dream about it, think about it every single moment. Thankful Sophie. That's a cute one, I like that. I'm here for the Bob Ross vibes. Well, Nick, it's an absolute pleasure to have you in here. And I hope that no matter how much time goes by, I hope there's always a live service like this, Nick. I really hope there is. And I hope there's always a live service that I can hang out here with you guys and just paint. I want to be, at the moment, I'm like that 30-year-old on TikTok. He could be cool once you hang out enough in here, you realize he's not. I want to be that really cute, quirky, like 60-year-old who's still like doing his thing on these lives. Could be pretty cute, could be pretty funny. Anyway, let's get that colour I'm talking about. Do you have an Art for Dummies book? I'm so intrigued but dumb when it comes to art. Deidre, I don't. And I've, in the shared office space, had people coming up to me asking me for stuff like that. I've had a few goes at painting courses and it hasn't landed right, so I haven't released it yet. I've dabbled around. So, one is on the way. I've had a few goes, it hasn't landed right. When I nail one, I will tell you all about it. I absolutely will. Because it's got to be a mixture of things. It's got to be fun. It's got to be engaging. It's got to be easy, but it's also got to be meaningful. And I haven't threaded that line just right yet, because a lot of what we do here, typically, is just candid, talking. It's we go along the process together. It's weird if I film it and then give it to you, and then I'm not there. And so I'm like, what words do I say if I can't be there in person that'll be as meaningful as they can be in that moment? So anyway, short answer, no, there isn't any learning resources. But ever since John started watching, I've been telling John too, they're on the way. And since then I've made 2 more versions, not happy with them. We will get a learning resource, one day. Ooh, what advice do I have to sell your art and clothing designs? My advice is please, 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 do not get hung up on the idea that you need to make art to make money. Never, never, never. I will never make this point enough. You make money to make art. That's totally okay. You're still an artist. Your art still deserves presence and love and attention. But you don't need to make art to make money. Monet and Van Gogh never made money from their art, but they saw it as essential to make their art. So if these old masters spent their entire lives, almost their entire lives, making art, but never for money, you have to realise that you may be similar to the greatest painters of all time, in that you may spend your life making your art, but never making money. And that is totally, totally okay. Thanks, Lucy, I appreciate that. But the problem is that comes in, Lucy, is a lot of the time when you are an artist, and you have a part-time job or a full-time job, or you're a lawyer or a builder, and you get home and you do your craft in the shed, you don't call yourself an artist, because you say, oh, but no, I don't make money from my art, so I'm not an artist. No. If you sing, you're a singer. If you paint, you're a painter. If you dance, you're a dancer. Enough of this gatekeeping. You're welcome to be part of art. And if you use building to make enough money to then make your art, consider yourself lucky. Because no matter what happens, you'll be able to make art the way you want to make it and the way you love. And that's a challenge sometimes. That's a challenge that artists face. Sometimes artists, you think, make a full-time career out of their art. Yes, they're not doing what they love. They've learned that actually landscapes with flowers in them sell really well. So they just paint endless landscapes with flowers. And they can't release themselves from that because they've got kids and a mortgage and things like this. And so they never actually continue to become an artist and experiment and make mistakes and play. This is really important. And if you have a full-time job and you paint in the evenings and do what you love there, no one's telling you what to make. No one's controlling your process. You are you in the most raw and authentic way. Uncontrolled, uninhibited. Sounds like, even though you're not the one getting paid for your art, it sounds like you're the true artist. How backwards is that? So the case here is, find a way to make your art. And I say that not because it's visual art, that's the key for everything, but your art. What do you do? What's your craft? Is it love? Caring for others? Singing music? Writing poems? Writing books? Playing music? Find a way to do your craft, your love for art, and express it. Then after you've found it, never let it go. Never let it go. You'll typically find with these sort of things, if you let them go, they're so much harder to pick back up and do again. How many times do you hear of someone who says, I don't paint anymore? Oh, I used to sing, I used to dance. Yeah. We all used to have something. And yet, we let the world not tell us no, but let the world just make us busy. And when we got busy, we stopped following our passions. When we stopped following our passions, we kind of stopped living. We put living on hold. And then we hit 40 or 30 or 35 or 45 or 55, and we suddenly realized that we didn't actually live for the last 15 years. We just put life on hold because we thought we'd reach a stage where we'd go back to find our passions when we had enough money. When's enough money, guys? When's enough money to sing? That's the biggest catch. You've always got enough money to sing. It doesn't cost anything. Schools are made to distinguish our children's creativity. Some schools are, and I've got some amazing art teachers who really helped me be who I am. And I had some amazing teachers who helped me find who I was. And so I'd probably say that not just to the hand of the school as an institution, but amazing people who conduct themselves as role models and teachers grow you as a person. And so, honestly, in a heartbeat, I actually need to call some of my old professors and teachers, tell them the profound impact they had on me as a child. I think I want to hear that. But, depends. Seb has a full, oh, sorry guys, sorry. Yes, so my degree, I started in art history and philosophy. Sorry, I started in visual art and then finished a degree in art history and philosophy, and it constructs a lot of my opinions and how I pursue art and the way I think. It's a massive part of me. And so, please take that into account when I go down a rabbit hole. I like to lose myself in a thought. It's one thing I really enjoyed recently. I watched this cartoon, guys. I play card games from the beginning, but I watched this cartoon recently. It was Rick and Morty, and they had this episode, very, very gory, but it basically talks about good and evil, and it's fairly correct. But anyway, so I can go into cartoons. Oh, there we go. Get on that eyelash there. And this one goes into darkness. There we go. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hey, Chloe, how you doing? And I was just going to say he's got, oh thanks guys, I appreciate that. But honestly, it's funny how life does that. Because I don't think I had this, I think I had the same idea of who I was when I was younger, in my teenage years, but I wasn't fully aware of it, not enough. I think it took more time. But I think after 30 years of trying to discover how to be, I was a tightly wound kid, guys. I thought I knew what I had to be a man. I thought I had it all, like not all sorted, but I knew what a conventional man was going to be and what I was going to look like in adulthood. And I was wrong. I was so terribly wrong. Actually for me, the only way I was going to find pleasure in my own life is by bringing it to others. And art, weirdly enough, the one thing that makes me truly happy, was the best way I've ever found to do that. And now, as a soon-to-be father, dad, and an adult, a grown kid, but an adult, now I've sort of realised that is the measure of a man. How well you can make others happy. Here we go. You're a professor, you're a primary school kid, Deidre. Maybe. Here we go. Thanks, Lindsay. It's going to be a bit more wild though, remember guys, because we did the last one with a lot of form. With this one here, we're going to get a little bit more silly. You can see here I've already highlighted the eyes because I've just got a little bit intense there. But we'll keep on slashing paint around, see what comes out of it. Here we go. There's a wrinkle that comes across there, and a wrinkle that goes across there. There we go. Let's get more of this tacky, beautiful colour down through here. Perfect. Yesterday I was using egg yolks. Still using egg yolks. Here's my little jar. Voila. Egg tempera. You've heard me say this before, is the most ancient style of painting. And it's fume free. That's how I can be in this glass box outside of that mean weather painting and completely sane. There's no toxic fumes in here. There's no solvents. They don't off-gas to dry. They literally just evaporate the water. Water evaporates, and then the proteins and fats coagulate, which causes the painting to solidify and last into perpetuity, which is kind of fun. I do like perpetuity in a painting. Okay, let's get a little bit of this one. I meant to be sleeping. You're all good, Layla. Just hang out for a bit longer. This is all good. This is all good. Who needs to sleep? Nah. If you've got a big day tomorrow, go get ready for your day. Go get ready for your day. But if you've got nothing else to do, if the alternative is just doom scrolling on your phone, hang out here. I'll look after you. But make sure that once you are tired, you don't just flick out of this live and continue doom scrolling. Go from here to sleep. Not that you need to take advice from a random Kiwi, but I'd like you to do that if you can. Get a good night's sleep. Here we go. A little bit more in here. Nothing to do tomorrow? Well, that sounds truly exciting. Like that episode, that movie with Robin Williams, where a guy says, I've got no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. And Robin Williams looks him right in the eye. And there's this beautiful smile on his face and says, how exciting. And I think that is the same approach we need to have. Because the other day I woke up and I was thinking to myself, I don't know what I'm going to do today. And that's when Robin Williams' face popped into my head saying, how exciting. And I realised, you know what, you're absolutely right. Not having a plan, and not doing nothing, but not having a plan, can be pretty cool. Here we go. What's been said here? I have loads to do tomorrow, but I'll hang out. Oh, you're nice, Chloe. But yeah, don't let this affect tomorrow. You get yourself a good night's sleep. was Hormozy, a guy who does marketing or something. He used to run gyms, got a social media presence. He talks about the best drug you can possibly take for better performance is a good night's sleep. He's kinda right. There we go. It's 4 o'clock here in New Zealand, which is pretty fun. Still got a few things I need to do for the day, but had a pretty good day though. Coffee's well and truly cold, it's part of the fun. Here we go. Lovely crow's feet, evidence of smiling, my favourite. And then let's get a little more. There we go. Lovely. All up through here. There we go. Yeah, nice. Get a bit more of this eyelid here. Beautiful. Cheers, John. I appreciate you. Did you try and time that for when I touched the eyelid? Okay, we've done our medium colours, we've done our dark colours. Now, when we add our light colours, which will be for the first time, see the actual painting take shape. At the moment, you'll be able to see ish of face, but it won't look complete in any way. When the light hits it, and we start to get those moments of highlight caught in the picture, that's when we'll start seeing, face. And we're going to do that with two-step process. Naples yellow. I sat here and looked at, ooh, Naples. Let me get a new plate here. There we go. No. What we do need to add into it though is passion. What's that song? More passion, more energy, more footwork. That, weirdly enough, explains painting pretty well. In this case here, we need to make sure that we transpose onto the canvas. I say transpose not in a spiritual sense, although you could take it in a spiritual way, but transpose, I've got simple words bouncing around, but good vibes and energy. Get goodness, get vitality, get vigor, and transpose it onto the canvas in a way that when you see the brush strokes and the colours bouncing over the top of each other fast and furious, does it make you feel good? And if the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. No, not just a bored guy. Transpose. And the reason you want to transpose, and that means to get something and project it onto the surface, a real figment of it onto the surface. That's what we're after. A real figment of vitality and joy. All right, get ready. This is going to be the Naples yellow. We're going to be a bit more silly with it, and we're going to get it more strikingly on this face. This is on a different brush. There we go. We're going to start seeing a few more features of our man coming out. There we go. Highlight around that eye. Beautiful. Nice. Coming on down here. Nice. Here's good. Cheers, mate. I actually do. I went to give plasma the other day. You saw that on my Instagram feed. I said that I was driving past and it said donate plasma in here. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I actually drove past it. I was like, I don't have time. And I was like, when are you going to have time, Sebastian? So I pulled over the car, went back around, pulled into the plasma place, donated plasma. It took 45 minutes. It was totally fine. And once it was finished, while it was happening, they had to take my blood pressure and things. And he said, you've got very good blood pressure, which is good, because usually I'm running very high blood pressure. So whatever I was doing with my diet at that point in time, ticked the box. Pretty satisfying. I'm not following Diablo, but that's I hope that's been friendly and constructive. Here we go. All right, a little bit more through here. See that hand coming together here. There we go, and then down through here. Nice. Don't even know what transpose means, but it sounds great. Nick, transpose means to, basically to project. But a projection would be not the real thing on the surface. A projection would be the image on the surface. Now, we're not trying to transpose an idea of it, we're trying to transpose some of the reality. So there's vitality in me, there's vitality in the painting. Not there's vitality in me, the painting looks like vitality. It wants to be vitality. And that sounds very cheesy to say that, but I mean that. And as a human, when you see, for example, here's a scary example, when you see scratch marks on something from like a wild animal, you get a little bit scared. You think, what's happened? What's happened? So when you see positive marks, like the way you can drag paint over the surface to create, in the same way, that might be able to bring out a positive emotion, a happy feeling, a positive feeling, a wild feeling. Ideally, in my mind, I love a primal feeling. Give me some of that primal element, that raw existence. A lot of the time, we've got so used to not feeling unbridled primal reality. We get so used to our white boxes of existence that we forget what it feels like to really actually feel raw creative technique. There we go. Perfect. Projecting thoughts and feelings onto the canvas and bringing life to it as you would see it, exactly like that. And I take it from a much more scientific approach, guys. This is not just saying that we're capturing feelings on a canvas and things like that. This is actually saying that you can look at a piece of work, and I believe it can be not the thing that completely flips you 180 from being unhappy to happy, but it could be the thing that acts like an eighth of a cup of coffee to give you a little bit of a boost to go into your day. And that's why I love having art in my house. I believe it does that. I really do. Art can make you happy. Art does make you happy. There we go. A little bit there. Alright, there's a little bit coming up through here. And up through here. Nice. Whole way up. Whole way up. More up here. Go on. Can't believe you guessed this off the bat. John. So cheeky. Alright, John's reward for his fast guessing is that, John, if you're the first person to get it next time, can you just say, got it? and then let everyone else battle out for second place. John's got my art style too much down to a T now. So, can you come to the Skates and Hopes seminar? Actually, I was really hoping to do that in the nearest future. I was planning on going over there, but now that I'm about to become a dad, I put that trip on hold. But would definitely like to go over there, not for like an exhibition of some sort, but for like do a little touring thing where you do probably like a week retreat somewhere. Doing a few little events, and one of them was going to be painting. But anyway, it hasn't happened yet. That's good. The cool thing about this is we can actually join live and hang out in a very, very real sense right now. If there is going to be a seminar though, if there is going to be a seminar or like a retreat, don't worry. You won't get it, won't be like, next week it's all on. It'll be months out, you'll have time to prepare. And ideally, it'll be a mixture of things. So it won't be like non-stop painting. It'll be like, you'll have a variety of options. And we get different painting classes, daily schedules, it'll be wild. Proper retreat. And you'd be surprised how fast you can walk out of a painting class, how much you can know. During lockdown, my brother, who's not normally an artist, was locked in a house with me during the New Zealand lockdowns. for months. Well, it only took him half a week. And he started to figure out pretty fast how to paint like me. Wild, with no inhibitions. And some of his stuff, I tell you this, I've still got it. I've still got it and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just some incredible things. I love something that's wild and raw. Made from the heart. That's what that is, made from the heart. Now how are we looking? How are we looking? It's coming together. It's coming together. We've got a face, we've got eyes, not quite complete yet, and we've got a hand. Seeing some form coming into it. There's a bit more down in here. There we go. Diadro, thanks for popping on in, mate. I appreciate you. And we might see you again sometime. You're not going to miss much. The next colour is going to be ultramarine, which is a type of blue. We're going to get some pink in here for a few highlights, and then some salmon and white to sort of go everywhere where we put that current light colour and see where that takes us. If you miss it, don't worry. If you need to get some sleep because I've got my phone filming right now. So the phone footage, I'll edit into a reel, and the reel will have the entire thing in like 15 seconds. It's a real time saver if you live a busy life. So yeah, whatever works, whatever works. Anyway guys, all the best for those who are going off to get some sleep. If you are hanging around and you think you're going to stay up too late to not have enough stuff not enough vitality to hit tomorrow, go to bed now. The other colours are going to be fun, don't get me wrong, but they won't be game-changing like that one was. You've seen the climax now. The other ones are going to keep on changing it and altering it and play around, but you can get a good night's sleep and catch the other 20% in the reel. So, let's get started. Thanks, Kirsten. Good to see you back in here, by the way, Kirsten. It's been a hot minute. All right. Ultramarine blue. Is that the next case? I think it is. Yeah. Ultramarine blue, that's the plan. Here we go. I stare at it for a while, so I have to think about these things. Got plenty of it. Here we go. And here, strong colour. I'll put it on top of those purples. Purple's still going to be the most dominant colour. And this is our timer. It's an egg timer. Literally an egg timer. And the reason it's literally an egg timer is once we run out of egg, we can't paint anymore. Great timer, right? Let's grab this brush here. Okay. Ultramarine. Let me bring this closer so you can see it. Voila. That's the colour we're working with. The darkest one yet. You can see how it's that lovely, lovely. There we go. Quite thin though. It's good. That's good. Okay, let's splash this around. Oh yes, now we're talking. See John? John's still here, right? John, this is where I was expecting to get to before someone guessed it. Talk about throw my plan under the bus. I got nowhere near here, but this is where I thought I'd get to. Yeah, so I don't know why. In fact, you did this to me last time as well, didn't you? Or was that who guessed Gandhi the last time we did a portrait and did that to it? And I thought, are you kidding me? But Gandhi had glasses, so I thought this time I won't select a guy with glasses. I'll do something a little bit less like that. But anyway, you make me select like a minor celebrity next time. Here we go. Do someone like more niche, like Billy Ray Cyrus. Have you ever been to Akura? Yes, I have. I have been to Akura. Not for a hot minute, but He's always doing that thinking pose. Yeah, it's funny you say that because now I sort of realise that that was a powerful giveaway. Hindsight's 20/20, guys. There'll be another chance. I'll get you on the next one. You want to choose someone that's irrefutably that person as you're painting it, but is harder to guess. It's a fine line to walk. Because if no one guesses it, you have to look at your painting style a little bit. So there's a little bit in both courts. A little bit in both courts. There we go. A little bit more up here. There we go. Beautiful. Head up through here. There we go. A lot of it in here. There we go. Wonderful. Hey Hannah, how you doing? A bit more. See how it's deepening those royal purples but not taking them over? That's the goal here. It doesn't want to take it away. It wants to layer on top. And that's why transparency is your best friend. There we go. A bit more here. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, now we're talking to it. Get that in there. Okay. And coming more down the side. And in here. We'll use a whole lot of this. There we go. Woo-hoo! And you'll start to see in a few wild strokes that mouth showing up a little bit. Pursed, not pursed, subtle, between the fingers. This is just deepening the shadows in here. Just because it's shadows doesn't mean we get to ignore it. Probably means it needs more attention actually, more colours to build its depth. This part here, there we go. I can buy myself flowers. I can hold my hand. You know, if one of my friends told me that she can buy herself flowers, I'd leap out and be like, hey, don't you worry about a thing. I'm going to go grab you some flowers and sound like you need them. So I wonder if a whole bunch of Marley's friends bought her flowers after that. They'd be good friends if they did. Rachie, this is just for fun. Just a couple of portraits to kick off Monday with. We've got other portraits to do this week for commissions, but I just want to loosen my brush strokes up a little bit, just get a bit more wilderness in what I'm doing before I do that. So that was the plan, and it's going pretty well actually. We're loosening up pretty well. Getting a little bit crazy with these brush strokes. There we go. Let's swap on to this one. Here we are. Perfect. Put this one down, and pick this one up. There we go. Beautiful. And down inside this hand here just a little bit. Wonderful. Who is this? It's still in the early days. Still in the early days. And one thing you'll notice too, the picture I've got and the board itself are two different sizes. And so you can see how actually the picture I've got on the board, to justify the change of shape, is actually slightly longer, more vertical. Kind of cool. So his nose is normally a little bit shorter. Okay. Perfect. All right, team. We're going to keep going for another, we'll just keep slashing paint on this for a little bit longer. We're coming down to a close for our Monday. One paint stroke at a time. There we go. Toity. I think the next colour we're going to need is going to be a bit of green. Green. Just lift that up there. Put that there. We're going to use that is the question. Connect a bunch of these together. There we go. We can use up the last of this, to be fair. There we go. A little more purple in here. Hello, Minty. Some more of this royal purple. There we go. Is this a person in the room? God, I wish that'd be pretty funny. Imagine having him sit for you. There we go. It has to be quite close to my face as well. They need to be right there to be able to do this. But live modelling is always pretty fun. There we go. Perfect. Stepping on back a little bit. Okay, let's go a little bit more down there, and down in there. Coming up over the top. Nice. So we come around through here. Nice. Alright, that's soaking wet now, team. And we've used up our 2 canvases. So, let me show you the damage for Monday. Who's ready to see the damage? We've got this character here, and we've got this character right here. Uno e dos. Voila. That is our Monday work. Okay, so we've gone for one, so this one here, this is a much flatter, smoother, wetter brush. This one's more dry and scrapey. That one had more age in it, this one has more youth in it. By the way, the paint brushes actually have had a result on the work. This one has more layering, you can probably tell. And the one other thing I'll say about this is egg paint. Now that's significant for one reason. When you look at these paintings, do they look like, and once I tell you this, a weird quality, do they look like there's a glow coming from inside the work itself? Oh, Victoria. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're so close to the end. Victoria, you've come right at the end. This is heartbreaking. I'm so sorry. I was going to say that because of the way the egg reflects light, the egg tempera, the light actually comes from almost inside the work itself rather than... you're all good, Vic. You'll love this one then. Christmas work. So the egg has a luminous quality to it. And because of that, especially with that light on it there, rather than it being like a regular painting that's glossy and shiny in all its special ways, there's an element that feels like the light comes from inside the work itself. And that's the beauty of this medium. It doesn't right there, that's the spot. I think that's the spot there, where it actually feels like the painting itself has shine in it. Anyway, that's a unique property of E-Temp. And you can use glossy gels and things like that, but they won't capture that same luminosity that you'll get from E-Tempera. That's the beauty I like in it, the end result, and the pop and the colour, the intensity of the colour. How very beautiful. Anyway, pretty fun. So I'm going to leap off now. I've got a pile of emails to jump on and a couple little bits and pieces to do. It's been absolutely fantastic to get to spend so long with you guys today. Really enjoyed it. Tomorrow we'll do the same again, 2 boards, so we'll keep on doing 2, 2, 2. And we might come back and throw some more layers on a few of these, see how we go. Or tomorrow, we might actually, we'll see. I'm prepping some boards tonight, so depending on the size of the boards that I prep, we'll see what line we want to go down. Could be all over the show. So surprises tomorrow. Expect surprises. Cheers, John. You're an absolute legend. Jay, thanks for being here. Appreciate your moderating, mate. Vic, sorry you're late. We're about to dash. If there's anything you guys need, if you have any questions, you can leave on the link in the bio, Instagram, TikTok messages, wherever you need to be. I'm here for you. And apart from that, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day or a great night. You're a pack of absolute legends. It's Monday here in New Zealand. It might be Sunday where you are. I hope you enjoy your week. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, guys. Bye.